exactly? Harry? Yes? Go, go find me, boy.
this place up. And another computer terminal.
You must not blow it up. You will disrupt too much.
What is that? What is that? Wow. Are you don't do anything damage at all? Wow. 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 What is this? Oh my gosh. Woo. Oh, it's almost dead though. I can do this. Oh no, I can't. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Gotten no. Oh wow, what's that? Good mine. Yes.
Factory is powered down.
Well done, Guardian. This will go a long way in getting us a foothold on Europa. But we should hit them again as soon as possible. Take advantage of the Vex presence here.
Just give the word, Commander. We'll be ready.
Nothing new about that. Should I upload Siobhan Salmon? Who are you?
Get you your food, your drinks. It's a long one. I'll feel it. Alright. Here's the video. Everybody go and watch it. I'll talk to you guys in the comments on the video. Go watch the video right now.
Oh, is that who he is? I can heard. That countries.
What can Varix do to aid you? You help Varix. Varix helps you.
Oh, fuck him up. This is really hard for him. I don't personally. I just shot the tower thing.
Eris, it's over. Hashladun is dead.
This is a relief to hear.
Oh yeah.
But Hashladun's presence is no coincidence. The Hive must have grander ambitions for the Pyramid's influences. Return to me. There is much to discuss.
She'll be desperate to prove herself.
As fast and efficiently as
That
possible.
desperation makes
She
her
could be
dangerous, but
ready for
also
the brand new
reckless.
Beyond Light raid
Eliminate
when
her
it
before
launches.
she
And
gains her
so,
footing.
let's get started. But just before we do, a huge amount of people watching are not yet subscribed. Take a second, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell to be notified of content similar to this in the future, and you can always unsubscribe later. Alright, now in Beyond Light, there is a lot of important things to know about. So firstly, there are two different ways to increase your power level. Firstly, through your artifact and gaining experience, and secondly, through actually getting gear and equipping that higher power level gear. Let's talk about the first way because it's going to come up first. It's what you want to be
Lots of
doing
movement ahead.
right away
Be ready
as
for
soon as
anything.
you start playing. So, when you launch up Beyond Light, it's going to put you on Europa automatically and you play through that first Now, as soon as that's done, you're still in Europa and you're then able to pop the barracks and continue the rest of the story. But as soon as possible, head to the tower and go to the follow corner is profit. And there you can pick up your artifact for this season. So you can start leveling it up and gaining access to the mods it provides. Now the four steps you want to do right off the bat is increase your experience in the game. You can simply open the bar, level 1, that's how you can all the you may want to do that. Another thing is go as far as quickly as possible. That's going to let you run a big expensive mod that goes up to 10% with the experience gains, and actually you can find even more. I have a 12% I found out in the wild. We'll obviously bring that to our experience for it. Also, activities for leveling up in the soft cap, which we'll talk about in a sec. One more thing, the fire team
Fallen raiding party ahead. You don't seem thrilled about Navota's presence.
This is going to increase experience gains for your fire team, not yourself. So you may want to hold on to your bounty until you get into because how you level up is going to change dramatically depending on what milestone you complete. So firstly, let's talk about this goes from power level of 50, then goes up to 1,200. As when you're in the soft cap, everything that's dropping is increasing your power level.
Signatures in a facility up ahead. I don't like this. It feels like a trap.
That you're gonna have to do anyways, right? You're going to get a lot of rewards for doing that. Probably not worth getting all the way up to 1,200 and then doing the campaign, because a lot of those rewards at that point will be useless. However, those people are going to find that either they need some leveling up during the campaign because the enemies get pretty hard pretty fast, or they beat the campaign and they're still not quite at 1,200. So the farming strategy surrounds the fact that one enemy drop a legendary. So head to the Trossland HQZ, go to the left, and go into the Widow's Walk Lost sector. And then here, the enemies are super low level. You can skip all of them to the end. It's a really, really small room. You simply kill the boss. Again, that boss is a guaranteed legendary drop, but it gets better. Often, I will kill all of the different enemies and those guys, because there are powerful enemies, they're very likely to drop blues and unicorns themselves. And then you can open the chest, and that boss sector chest is a chance to drop a blue as well. You're going to see a background gameplay. First, we're close now.
She won't escape this time.
Retreat isn't an option for her anymore.
Or even less.
Not with the group doubting her. Expect the worst, Guardian. Navota has no choice but to defeat.
Energy signature. That's her. That's Navota.
In 45 seconds.
get powerful gauntlets, powerful helmets, a powerful head. Things are going well until you get a powerful helmet again. And maybe it's one power level above your previous helmet. That's often referred to as a weight drop. However, there's some armor within your pack makes up for a piece of your leg because that armor drops at your exact power level, if not one more sometimes. So if you have a power level, make up for a piece of gear lagging behind because that armor drops at your exact power level, if not one power level above your previous level. That's often referred to however, there's some kind of tactics really reduce RNG frustration and get you ahead. So, armor within your suit makes up for a piece of gear lagging behind. Exact power level, if not one more sometimes. So, the average power level is 12 withdraw the chest piece.
The bonus play for power shape and danger and higher logic on all systems
power level boost from the thing like
that the path to victory comes only from the light.
We're happy to send the message.
what kind of powerful drops there are. A great example is the Salvation Grip exotic grenade launcher. You want to know how to get that? There's a guide in the description. That is a powerful drop. And you know exactly what that is. It's a heavy grenade launcher. So it may be smart to save the final part on that quest to when your heavy is lagging behind. You can simply complete it, get a guaranteed powerful plug in that gap, and that will really help your leveling process. But another huge tip, like this is going to be something that people who get to the top light levels in the world in the first few days are doing, is the fact that you can equalize your gear with random drops. Now what I mean by that is once you get past the soft cap, you're actually not quite done with the random legendaries because they can drop of level. And you're going to see that within the background gameplay. So what this means is that just like how you can withdraw your season's past armor to plug gaps, you can also plug gaps by simply going back to that lost sector we showed earlier and farming the crowd out of drops. And you can see this process literally working in the background gameplay. It happens perfectly during my leveling process because as you can see, I got to 1200, so I started to do my powerfuls. And you'll see, my kinetic, my energy, my helmet, my gauntlets are higher than 1200, but everything else is 1200. But my average overall power level is now 1201. So that means if I go to that lost sector and I get loot, as you can see, sometimes it's 1201. So what I can do is I can just keep farming this, and eventually, if I replace those 1200s with 1201s, again, as you can see, I go up to 1202 average gear score. And this is huge. I essentially got up
And then some not tell you.
without wasting a powerful drop. In fact, the next powerful drop I get is going to be even better because now it's based on 1202 instead of 1201. So obviously quite useful when used properly, but when is the proper time to do this? Well, the magic number in terms of power leveling is 12.
I know I did, but
When you have 12 total power levels above your average power level, then you go up by 1. So in my example, I'm 1201 average. Then I promise 3 above. The energy is 2 above for 5 total. The helmet is another 3 above for 8 total. And all is 2 above for 3 total.
Oh, really? Yeah. Perfect. Cool. Everyone.
This is Edu and Ray, and these are Barner, the ultimate computer glasses. Edu and Ray used to work in fancy offices. And what happens in fancy offices nowadays? They're full of screens, or how we call them, eye killers. Edu, Ray, and their colleagues were sitting in front of these eye killers for a lot of hours every day. Strained eyes, headaches, and also problems falling asleep were some of the symptoms suffered from looking at these eye killers. They were looking for a cure to reduce all these symptoms using eye drops.
A new expansion means a new level cap. A new level cap means I get to make yet another video on how to level up. So let's talk about leveling in Beyond Light and Season 12. The soft cap for Beyond Light is 1200. This means that you can get gear up to 1200 power by doing literally anything in the game. Blue gear, random grams, you name it. In fact, until you hit 1200 base power, the game will not show you certain powerful and pinnacle reward sites. However, if you want to optimize your leveling, I would recommend solely leveling up to 1200 via non-powerful and pinnacle rewards, because after 1200, leveling up gets more difficult. You want to hit 1200 base before doing any reward sites that say they offer powerful or pinnacle rewards, if possible. The power cap is 1250 and the pinnacle cap is 1260. From 1200 to 1250, for the most part, you will level up via powerful and pinnacle rewards. From 1250 to 1260, the only way to level up is from pinnacle rewards. Now, when you hit 1200,
strikes with the proper elemental subclass on, 3 Crucible matches, 3 Gambit matches, Nightfall 100k score. The Clan XP engram is a powerful tier 2 technically. The Deepstone Crypt when it comes out, the raid, and 7 wins and flawless on a Trials card. When Season 12 unlocks, it is likely that more reward sites will open up. I will add those to the description of this video when they open. It is also possible that more sites will open up on Europa. Those will also be added if and when the time comes. When it comes to Prime engrams, you should try to decode them right away since their power is locked the moment they drop. For the most part, you should do all of your powerful reward sites on one character before switching over to the next. You will then transfer your highest level weapons to your next character, grind up until you're all done, and then repeat on the third character. For those leveling for the day 1 raid race, you can actually start Beyond Light with the character you want to bring into the raid in week 1, and then end on it in week 2. So for me, that means I would start with my Titan, then do my Warlock, then do my Hunter, and then next reset, week 2, I would do my Hunter, then Warlock, then Titan, giving my Titan the best chance to get levels from transferring weapons over. When it comes to grinding experience, as usual, bounties are going to be the play, especially the repeatable ones. Pick up as many as you can get, do them, and turn them in, preferably in a fire team if you have the XP boost from the Season Pass. Power from your artifact will not play a factor in the first 24 hours of the new raid. However, getting to later levels in the Season Pass will give you access to new high stat roll armor, which could prove beneficial in the early parts of the expansion for you hardcore players out there. Now, if you've been an active player, this should all seem very familiar. It's been basically the same for the past couple of years now. However, Bungie did make some changes that will slow things down a little bit, mainly tower leveling. To understand how that worked, I will explain the desperately in need of a new name, gluing up technique to leveling. When you hit the soft cap of 1200, blues will stop providing power for you, and will instead drop at -3 to 0 power compared to your current highest possible power. However, this means that you could potentially come across blue items that are higher level than what you might have in a certain slot. If you're 1203 power, but the spread of your armor power is 1200 to 1205, you can get blues that will drop above 1200. By grinding out blue items in this way, probably through strikes or crucible or something, you can essentially get free levels, boosting your ability to progress without having to use any powerful or pinnacle reward sites. It should be noted that Bungie made a change to reward playlists where every once in a while you can get a powerful drop, and this does not appear to have a limit. So technically, you always have a reward site to grind.
Okay.
Season Pass armor will also drop at your highest power, so you can use those armor pieces to fill in gaps as you need to. While this technique can get you a lot of extra levels, it comes at the cost of a lot of extra time spent grinding, and those without that much time to grind probably will not utilize this method too much. This method will only likely be used by people who do a raid race, or for people who just really get a kick out of leveling as fast as possible. However, the ability to skip grinding blues by going to the tower to buy items from vendors and tokens is now no longer possible. But it means that items that come from vendors purchased with tokens will drop at 20 power levels below your current character's level. So now you actually need to play the game to level up. But you will be able to level second and third characters at the tower a little bit, since we're starting at around 1050 to 1060. If you grind your first character to 1200 and trade your guns over to the second character, their overall level might float around 1100, which means you could get some 1080 to 1090 gear for free from the tower to jumpstart your leveling, pulling items from vendors until you can't get any more upgrades. You may be able to get as high as 1150, even 1175 in this way if you have tokens. However, once you hit 1200 on all of your characters, turning in tokens or levels at the tower just isn't really possible. And that about wraps
guys, it's Scaries here. Now, our first story today comes from MrBeast. So just yesterday, MrBeast opened up his very own food chain. It's called MrBeast Burgers, and they have 300 locations nationwide. And this food chain looks like your typical burger place. If you look at the menu here, they have a lot of different styles of how you can make your sandwich. They have fries here. So a lot of people look at it, and they're probably really wanting a MrBeast burger right now. But the way you can actually order a MrBeast burger is through delivery. The app is actually really big on the App Store right now. Even some people tweeted this out. He says, think about this. $0 of marketing spent. Brand didn't even exist before yesterday. No history in food. And it's #1 in the App Store. And that's right. This is actually literally the biggest app right now. There are millions of people trying to get their hands on a MrBeast burger. Now, many people over social media have been putting out saying that they already love the food. But there has been some people who have had issues with their burger place. Some people are saying that they got the order wrong for them. Some people are saying the orders have been coming in. Now, YouTuber known as Nathan recently did a live stream where he was unboxing a MrBeast burger. He put it on stream, and people noticed that the burger looked raw, and he's obviously very upset about this as well because he says he likes the burger, but obviously this is a very concerning thing if the burger's coming in raw. And there has been some reports over social media of people saying that the burgers have come in raw. Now, this obviously isn't very common. We've only seen a few reports of this so far, but it looks like MrBeast is trying to fix these problems. Actually, Keemstar has seen similar reports on this, and he tweeted out saying some people are trying to get me to expose MrBeast burgers for late delivery, food being cold, orders being wrong, etc. No? Have you people ever ordered food before? They always get it wrong. Not always, but you know what I mean. Something wrong with your order does not mean it's exposed. You gotta remember that these 300 locations had to switch to a new menu overnight to pull this off. It's not going to be perfect. And delivery services is not even the same company as MrBeast Burger. So late food is not even MrBeast's fault. Just saying it's not an I will stand thing. MrBeast himself responded here saying, I'll be the first to admit that we are not perfect. An overwhelming majority of people will be happy with their orders, but yeah, some people have problems and I will gladly refund them and do what I have to make it right. So it does look like they have had some complications with this startup here, but they just started yesterday, and MrBeast is trying everything he can to be able to fix this and make everything perfect. Now, if you really had a legit issue with the order, MrBeast does say here that he will try to refund you, but YouTubers are still very impressed that MrBeast is able to start his very own food chain here. I mean, keep in mind, this man was in his early 20s, okay, and he didn't have any past experiences. He didn't have experience with owning their own food chain. He has started this completely from scratch. And honestly, from what we've been seeing, it looks like the startup of MrBeast Burgers has been a complete success. Now, our next story today comes from the YouTuber Pyrocynical. We don't know what happened. Last month, a person called Ivory tried to extort Pyrocynical for sending him inappropriate messages when he was underage. Now, Ivory claimed that he was only 15 at the time, and Pyro had sent him inappropriate messages when he himself was an adult. And obviously, a lot of people were very skeptical of this at first. They felt like a lot of these claims that Ivory had made originally did not hold a lot of weight, and they also weren't sure if the messages were even real. Well, Pyrocynical responded to this on Reddit. He got a ton of support for this response, and for completely false allegations. Now, Pyrocynical does admit in this response that these messages were in fact real, but he says here that the more serious allegations of him grooming were completely false, okay? And that he was never actually trying to get with this kid. And in Pyro's response, he also says here that he didn't even know this person's age when he was messaging them. And Pyro got a ton of support on his response here. People were very happy that he cleared up the whole situation. But a lot of commentary YouTubers felt like Pyro did not fully clear up the situation. They felt like Pyro was still lying in his response here. So one of the YouTubers who pulled out Pyro was known as Turkey Tom. Now, he's a well-known commentary YouTuber, and he made a video calling out Pyro, and it completely blew up. And then Turkey Tom went on to make a 19-page long Google document going more depth on how he knew that Pyro was lying in his response. And in this document, Turkey Tom claims here that Pyro probably knew all of Ivory's age. So after this big Google document was released, people got very upset with Pyro, and they felt like he was lying to them. Well, just yesterday, Pyro uploaded a huge response to this whole situation. And this video has over 2 million views in only a day. He got so much support on this response because he's claiming here that these allegations are still completely false, and he breaks down and refutes a lot of his Google documents. Just watch this.
Well, a few days ago, a poorly written Google doc has surfaced claiming that I have lied in my response and I'm 100% guilty. I just want to be clear, I have never lied at any point. This document is disingenuous, manipulative, and it fails to include so much of my original statement, bringing new information to light, but also making points to prove my guilt that I already proven to be untrue in my first statement.
So one of the main things that he said in the Google document pointing out Pyro was that he knew Ivory's age when he was sending him inappropriate messages. And Pyro actually breaks down and refutes everything that was said about his
when this message or that message was sent, I knew he was 15. What? When Ivory linked me his Twitter profile, the age in bio said 16. This is something I acknowledged in my Reddit post. But to be fair, I probably didn't elaborate enough on it. In retrospect, I never should have continued the furry stuff with him once I learned his age, even though at the time I didn't see it as a problem. Legally, age of consent is 16 in both my country and his state. I didn't consider the age gap significant enough because what we were talking about and doing was so far removed from actual use. It literally was just fantasy furry garbage because I didn't consider Ivory sexual in any way in person. I never had a plan to work on friendship into something more, and I never considered it an issue. I understand though that, this is going to be one of those weird grey areas where people are going to agree or disagree. I think it's a combination of all of these variables coming together, which led me to believe at the time there was nothing wrong from a moral standpoint.
Now, one of the more disturbing things that people think about Natalie is that he's trying to find Ivory out who he said he get with him. So when he's trying to make it very clear here that he was for any reason other than to just go to an event with a bunch of other YouTubers. And he even gets PewDiePie's competitor's side on here to vouch for him.
I really don't understand how you can reach the conclusion that I invited him just to have sex with him. I invited him casually, no plane ticket was purchased, no specific handmade invite was sent. It was purchased nonchalant, and that exact same invite was copied and pasted word for word to dozens of people. I mean, yeah, we shared some fat furry art, we had some weird fantasy roleplay, but there was no sexual interest. There were no nudes exchanged. His name, his appearance, wasn't important to me. I didn't even know what he looked like at this point. I mean, if he looked me a picture or something, I would have forgotten it because it was just that irrelevant to me.
So right now, most of the community feels like his response was actually pretty good because Pyro was being very clear and concise here, and he wasn't beating around the bush in any of these harder situations that he had to talk about. And it can obviously be pretty hard to speak about your fetishes online to millions of people like this, but Pyro didn't hold back. He talked about literally almost everything he could have talked about here. And there are some criticisms of his response. Some people are saying that Pyro was lying. I mean, Keemstar obviously does not like Pyro, and he's been tweeting out things. He thinks Pyro is a liar and a manipulator. But right now, it feels like Pyro had a very good response to this, and that they feel like he should not be canceled for this situation. Actually, what most YouTubers have been responding to from this video is that Pyro admitted that he was a furry here. Now, Pyro also in his response, both the accusers, and the person who was document, Circle Trump, have now responded to Pyro. They both on silent also see what's happening right now. We'll definitely keep you guys updated if they continue to respond here. Number 3 goes from Twitch. So 3 days ago, Twitch implemented new rules on the entire platform here. And some of these rules were pretty questionable to a lot of streamers and viewers. One of the rules is actually the fact that you no longer say the word cis, incel, or virgin on Twitch anymore. That's right, they have banned the word cis. They completely banned this, and actually streamers are now getting banned for saying this word on their Twitch streams. I'm not even joking. Slasher tweeted out saying Twitch now says you can no longer call others simp, incels, and virgin, as they are now against the terms of service, along with any emotes relating